What's going on, guys? It's your boy Coach Taz back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing 4 important tips to help all you game developers create a more intuitive and user-friendly game interface, so by the time your next game drops, you're not upsetting a whole bunch of gamers through a whole bunch of poor UI choices. So let's get into it. Now, the first tip that I want to share with all of you today is the importance of researching. Before you ever touch Unreal, before you ever touch Unity or Godot or whatever it is that you're creating your game in, making sure that you research, and research some more. To all my UX and UI designers, you know what I'm talking about here through all of our studies. This is ground zero. This is where you start. Ask yourself, what's working in the most popular games of today? What's not working? Research titles related to the genre that you're creating in, regardless if it's AAA, AA, indie, it doesn't matter. Just research every game that you can get your hands on. And sometimes it's as simple as I love pulling out a journal, getting 2 columns, a pros list and a cons list. And every game that I research, when I used to do a lot of UI work for indie studios, I would literally research a game and write down every thought that I had about the game, what worked, what didn't work. So I was never tempted to replicate the things that gamers really didn't enjoy or what I didn't personally enjoy within a particular title. But one quote that I've always lived by that is so important to me is, it's okay to be a copycat as long as you're copying the right cat and you're paying respect to the originator that you got your idea from. Tip number 2 is as simple as following basic design principles. Now, this is a topic that I've covered thoroughly in a past video. I'll link it somewhere in the description. Make sure you go watch that, because in that video, I go into a lot more detail than what I want to in this video. But sometimes it's just as easy as following visual hierarchy, making sure all the text is legible on the screen, making sure they having proper contrasting colors to make sure that you're not fatiguing the human eye. All of these are crucially important, even, dare I say, they're very overlooked in the game industry, which drives me nuts because I got my start in web design and graphic design, and I carried that over into the gaming industry, and I just don't see enough UX UI designers within the gaming industry implementing these very basic graphic design principles that we learned in grade school when we started designing. So making sure that you're following basic design principles is key, as well as making sure you're not just thinking visually, but you're thinking audibly too. Sometimes when you're scrolling throughout a menu, there's very poor contrasting colors and you don't know which menu item that you're clicking on, or you're trying to navigate to, just because of poor design choices. So sometimes having an audio cue when you make a particular selection is very important. It helps gamers distinguish and just understand that they made the right selection that they were intending to do. Now, tip number 3, we're actually going to be diving in-game and talking more about the overall functionality choices that you can make as a UX UI designer versus just talking generically about some menu item design choices. But this is a good reminder to all you game developers to remind the gamer of particular controls that they need to remember throughout the game journey. You have to remember, a lot of gamers don't play through your game in one sitting. We are constantly bouncing around, playing dozens of different games all at one time. We might play the first couple hours of your game and leave it alone, drop the controller, and never pick it up again for another couple of months. And if, to all my fellow gamers out there, you know how incredibly frustrating it is when you drop a game that you've invested probably 20 hours into and you don't want to start over, but you come back after like 6 months of playing other games and you just want to continue where you left off and you don't remember any of the freaking bloody controls. So you're tempted to start the game over, but you don't want to lose all your progress. Has that ever happened to you? Because it's happened to me quite a lot. And one game that I played recently that I want to give a quick shout out to, Still Wakes the Deep and all their development team over there. I forget which developmental team did it, but Still Wakes the Deep is a phenomenal title that just does a great bang up job when it comes to UI design, whereas as minimal as it is throughout the entire game, and I think it's maybe just a handful of hours, but still I played it through a course of a couple of weekends, and from start to finish, it was constantly reminding me of important controls and how to reach particular places, whether I needed to grab this and what the grab button was, and whether there was a special skill that I needed to do and what button combinations I had to do to hit that special skill. Still Wakes the Deep did a phenomenal job in their overall UI design, and they deserve a great shout out. So make sure you go check out their game, but making sure you're providing those reminders of what the controls are throughout the game, start to finish, it really provides a phenomenal user experience. The fourth and final tip is all about testing and soliciting for feedback. There's free help out there. You don't have to pay a dime for anything. On any gaming project I've ever worked on, I've dove headfirst into Facebook groups, Reddit threads, Twitter feeds, my LinkedIn network, and I've always solicited free feedback from just these kind-hearted people out there that want to test out my games and test out the interfaces, and just to see if they like it or not, and to see what changes need to be made. When I was doing design work on Angry Birds 2, trying to pitch Rovia Entertainment my work, I would compare the current model of Angry Birds 2 and all their UX UI work to my current iterations, and getting that feedback from gamers, whether they were casual, experienced, or even a competitive gamer, and just getting that feedback and being able to make those changes, it just improved the overall quality of the work, and it challenges you as a designer. It forces you to get better. So don't overlook diving onto social media and just getting free help. There's so many people that don't want a dime, they don't want gift cards, they don't want food, they don't want nothing. They're just happy to help. And this is why I'm constantly telling you guys, get on LinkedIn, start building out your network. There's a great gaming community on LinkedIn that not enough people are tapping into. So there it is. 4 quick tips on how to improve your overall UI and UX choices for your next game to make it more user-friendly and intuitive. I hope this was beneficial for you guys. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, help us grow this channel. I really have been enjoying this YouTube channel and this overall series of marketing and design work, and just sharing you my previous experiences with the industry, and I hope it's been valuable to you guys. So thank you guys as always. God bless.